Hey, thanks. So first thing we are going to do is start off by dealing with some of the weeds we have in one of the oat fields, and mechanical weeding is the way to go with that. Obviously, you're going to get Courseplay to run that because I have to plow in the grass cover crop. Before I do that, I'm going to get some more rubber on the road. Now, this JCB has some cool tire options. I did consider going for the flotation tires, but we're going to go for the double rear wheels. They felt more appropriate for a plowing job. And yes, we're using the GT plow again. Again, it felt like something that was, I was going to say appropriate, but easy. And easy is good now. I was going to say easy is good at the moment. So this footage was recorded pretty much a month ago from when you are seeing this. But that's good because I felt like it was a good point to use up the stack of videos that I've got backed up for this, because they are relatively easy for me to get produced, require, I don't say relatively low effort, but I need to remember vaguely what I did and vaguely what was going on. Thankfully, I've written some notes while I was editing these. And yeah, I thought let's try and get caught up on this series, and then I'm not sitting on a bunch of old content that I frankly would like you guys to see. And you know, it's using older versions of mods. I am running moisture on here, I'm pretty sure, but it's a developmental version. So yeah, it's with that mod having been through a lot of updates, it makes sense for me to get these out, because what you see might not reflect where the mod is now. In fact, it certainly doesn't reflect where the mod is now, because the mod has changed a fair bit. So yeah. Anyway, things are getting less stressful out in the real world, which is nice. It's probably going to take me a little while to recover from the bout of intense stress that I have been through, but you know, things are getting better. That's good. Although next week is still very busy, and to be honest, the next few weeks are really quite busy, and after that things are going to be really random because I'm going to be away with work for quite a while, so I don't know what's going to happen with content during that period. We will just have to wait and see. Anyway, so the plan for this field, as I think is probably, well, I was going to say obvious, but because it's been, I don't know how long since I did a video on here, I'm not going to assume it's obvious. We're putting corn back in here. Oh God, I don't even remember what we're doing. So I think we're doing a rotation of corn, grass, and soybeans, because we have soybeans in the other field that we brought. No, because we haven't. You haven't seen that yet, have you? No. So spoilers. We end up buying another field to put into a rotation with this field, because with red tape, and I end up installing the crop rotation mod, just endlessly bouncing between corn and grass didn't feel particularly good. So spoiler, we end up buying field 12 to kind of spread out that load on the field, and putting those two fields into a rotation. Yeah, I had forgotten I hadn't done that yet. That's the downside of massive gap that I mentioned. So yeah, anyway, this field is pretty much plowed. The next job is going to be to get some digestate on here. Obviously with running red tape, we want to, and with the schemes that I'm signed up for, we want to be maximizing the amount of organic fertilizer we're using. Although with the version that I have installed at this point, I don't know if red tape's been updated or not. It's very easy to comply with that policy, as long as, well, with precision farming, it's very easy to comply with that policy because of the relative mismatch of nitrogen in organic versus inorganic fertilizer. Because you have to use a lot of organic fertilizer to get a decent amount of nitrogen on a field or two versus how much you use to put nitrogen on a field with inorganic fertilizer. So yeah, because it's done off of liters used, it's really quite an easy policy to comply with. So think, what am I doing here? I'm buying some seeds. Was this the bit where they were on sale? Maybe. There was a point, yeah, there's some saplings and some seeds on sale, so I picked them up because it seemed like a good deal. And we do end up planting a few more trees, so picking them up while they're on sale is, you know, a sensible idea. You can get stuff on pretty good deals. If you could buy pig food permanently on sale, it would be worth doing. And, you know, getting seeds 89% off for 4 pallets of seeds, yeah, definitely do that. Buying consumables on sale is a really good part of FS25. Yeah. So we have had the announcement. I think I mentioned it in the Maypole video, but we've had the announcement of the DLC. Now it looks relatively interesting, actually. It's not that far away, I don't think. I can't remember the date for it. I know they've started doing the Fact Sheet Friday stuff. I'm so detached from everything at the moment. I'm hoping to get kind of caught back up on stuff in the next week or so, maybe. Who knows? I've still not actually properly read the release for the DLC that they did. Or really looked at the content that came out for it. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. That's it. Getting digestate on the field. Now, from what I remember, and from the way that I generally do this, magic trailer, because that's how farm sim works. We have magic trailers. I generally tend to try and get close with the organic fertilizer so that you use less inorganic. I do that whether I'm using red tape or not, just because it's cheaper, because digestate is essentially free. It's a byproduct of running the BGA, and it's really not worth very much, so you might as well put as much on the field as you can. And, you know, kind of with precision farming and needing to hit a certain nitrogen target, it makes sense to get as close as you can to the target for the crop that you're planting. And we get through quite a bit. I do find it amusing that with trailers, if you put them in the tipping point and hit them to tip, and then you can disconnect from them and they will just keep tipping. Yeah, it's magical. So we have pretty much got the field to the point where we have it fertilized. So the next job is to lease a planter. I'm pretty sure I leased it, although we do end up using it again later on. But I'm pretty sure I leased it. I think it's a lizard one. It's, again, I have a habit of going for the cheaper stuff, because although we've got a reasonable amount of money on here, we're going to be spending a lot of it in a bit. So yeah, I tend to like going for cheaper kit. He says running around in a relatively expensive JCB, but it's on finance. So yeah, this is the one we went for, the Lizard Pentaline. This might be available branded on PC, but this is the mod that I found when I was looking for a planter to install. So this is what we're using. And we've got a ton of seeds, obviously, because I just brought a load of seeds on sale. Let's hope they germinate, eh? Yeah. And we had some solid fert, so we might as well put that in. I don't remember if I ended up buying more solid fert or not. You might as well get the fert going in at the same time, using the built-in GPS, obviously, because that's what I use, and planting corn and going for ideal fertilization straight off the bat, and that'll be that. Returning the roller, because we have the not having to roll crops that don't need to be rolled normally mod installed, because I normally would only roll them to get rid of the neat rolling state that shows up on the map. So having that mod install saves me doing that. It's a very good mod. I think in FS22 I did a video of how to remove that need to till someone released that mod that did that. Yeah, we like that mod. Because I think without it, you have to roll things like potatoes, and would you really roll ridged crops? No, you wouldn't. I'm not going to get ranty. I'm not going to get ranty, honest. So, yeah. Now, I was playing this save a heck of a lot last month. I haven't played it much since because I've been playing a heck of a lot of Kerbal Space Program. I don't know if I mentioned that on the Maypole video. I did on Timberborn videos recently. That game has been saving my brain over the last month or two. I don't remember when I brought it, but yeah, it's been utterly saving my brain because I have been falling into that to escape the stress of the real world. So it's really worrying how many hours it consumes. It's a lot like when I started playing Timberborn, in that I can lose hours and hours and hours in that game. So it's good, but it's also bad because I'm kind of not sleeping enough now. I think some of that is a neurodivergent thing, in that I find by the time I finished the day at work and then had enough time for my brain to decompress and relax, it's way later than I would normally like to go to bed. But, you know, la vie, folks. It is what it is. A lot of the really stressful things that were kind of getting me down in the last Maypole video have been resolved now through, they were work things. They've been pretty much sorted. So, yeah. I hopefully will be being a bit less stressed in the coming weeks. So that's good. Yeah, so we're going to finish getting this field planted. We're going to then do a little bit of tree planting. Now, I was doing this before red tape has been updated. Red tape has since been updated to limit the amount you can gain from tree planting. Now, you won't see it in this video, but you will see in one of the coming videos, even the fairly restrained tree planting that I've done gives you a really big boost in your red tape ranking level, whatever it is. I don't feel like I've planted that many trees, and yeah, we've got quite a lot of I think I jumped like 2 levels. I'm not sure what I was doing here or trying to show because it was a long time ago. And maybe I was talking about the fertilizer stuff that I've already kind of spoken about, in that it doesn't matter that we're using a few 100 liters of solid fert because we've applied thousands of liters of digestate. And I think maybe in one of the future videos, or certainly in the past, certainly in some of the gameplay that I've done a whole load of contracts and then balanced that out by doing a contract using digestate. Because again, you use a few thousand liters of solid fert or liquid fert to do contracts, and then you do one contract on a field that uses 2 tanker loads of digestate. It just completely negates it, which is wrong in my opinion, but you know, it's how it's set up. And maybe I shouldn't do that, but it's how I'm choosing to play. So we're going to grab some trees, we're going to grab our spade, and we're going to go plant a few trees. And I'm only planting like 10 at a time. As I say, it completely kind of screws up our ranking. But there is a corner spot that we own over here, just off of field 10. We do have to go through some of the hedges, but we own this corner plot here. So I'm going to put some trees in. I don't know what else we could use it for. It feels like maybe we shouldn't own it, but we do. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and YouTube channel members. Appreciate your guys' support. And I will see you all next time for more farming or driving or beavering or whatever.